and welcome. We are coming to you from Solano Community College. My name is Destiny Ribeiro. This is Alyssa Tinsley, Andrew Gondry, Elijah Moore, and we are Blaze Control. Now, our topic is a very prevalent and reoccurring issue we have in California, and that is wildfires. According to the U.S. Forest Service, 85 to 90% of wildfires are human caused. And Cal Fire stops at least 5 to 7,000 wildfires per year. That's a lot that they have to fight. And with summer around the corner, late summer to early fall, that's the most dangerous and susceptible time to wildfires because it's hot, it's dry, more winds are coming in. So it's not a matter of if there's going to be a wildfire, but when there's going to be a wildfire. Now, to start us off, we're going to go into why we should take this very seriously. We'll talk about the effects of wildfires, what to expect when a wildfire happens. And I'm going to mention first the insurance. Do not rely on insurance, please. It is not your crutch. It will break, you will fall. Um, According to a lot of mainly fire protection agencies and websites and stuff like that, the main thing about insurance is that they don't cover places that are fire prone, which I don't really understand. Because what is considered fire prone? Because it's hot, it's dry, but that's a lot of places in California. So is it like maybe just cities? But even then, cities aren't safe, completely safe from wildfires, because wildfires can happen everywhere. Yeah, so just don't rely too much on insurance, please. But besides that, there are also a bunch of safety risks, of course, because fire is dangerous. It is quick, unpredictable. You don't know what to expect. So sometimes people get hurt. Um, any health risks that anyone wants to mention?
Yes, speaking of health risks, I want to talk about, from according to the Stanford Woods Institute for the Environment, Rob Jordan talks about how wildfire smoke is very toxic, almost 10 times than regular air pollution. So I feel that, of course, that's very dangerous for our lungs. And it's also because of the fossil fuels. And so there's no basically safe level of exposure. And also, of course, the more we breathe, the worse our range of health issues can occur. So obviously, make sure like to find a mask or like cover your mouth anyway, even just a shirt, wrap around a shirt, or anything to like save our breathing and our lungs. Very important.
And it's even worse with wildfires, more than any other kind of fire, I guess, because they can cover so much area, burn so much stuff, and release all different kinds of particles into the air. So it just makes it even more dangerous than, like, say, a building fire,
Yeah.
because wildfire smoke can stay in the air longer. It's like a bigger fire. It's harder to put out. So you can see like points in time where there will be smoke in the air for weeks, like how it was with the LA fires.
Yes.
So it's particularly dangerous in that regard too.
It's
And
very strong. There was a controlled fire over here, and it was I could still smell it. I was coughing. So I can't imagine being stuck in a confined area surrounded by smoke.
mm,
So, which is why it's the most dangerous. It's not the fire itself that kills you, it's the smoke that it causes, which is why you need to stay low and everything.
especially for people with like existing respiratory disease,
Yeah. Asthma and all
yeah,
that. Yeah.
it only will just make those worse.
Yeah. Well, with that in mind, I think that is a good way to show that we should be taking this very seriously. So now we'll talk about what causes wildfires. There are a lot of ways that wildfires can occur. Some are simple and some are big but preventable. A lot of these causes are preventable. Has any stuck out to you guys?
When I was looking more into it, it showed, of course, like arson, campfires. So if you happen to go camping with your family or anybody, you can light a little campfire so you guys can make s'mores or just to stay warm. And if you don't pay attention to it, let's say like you happen to walk away just to get something, and you know the fire can start right there. Vehicles, if they cause an accident, or even power lines, fireworks. So 4th of July, New Year's Eve, certain holidays like that when people are super happy, or weddings when people are super happy, and they start getting the fireworks out legally and all that. Mhm.
Yeah, like
They can just cause fires and stuff like that, or even cigarettes. If you just flick a cigarette and then you just never know.
which is very
it
common.
reminds me of the baby showers too.
Yeah,
Like the gender reveals, and all
gender
that stuff.
reveal
Yeah,
parties.
They're
Yeah.
crazy with those. They can, you don't even know what happens with those.
because it's like everybody wants to match the next person or go above and beyond, so they want to do something super grand, and then you just never know what's gonna cause next.
Set off like dynamite or something.
Yeah.
It's like a giant.
Wow, that's
They're just
crazy.
like boom, and yeah.
Yeah,
There you go. There goes the smoke.
I've only ever seen like, the cute popping the balloon thing. which
Girl,
is-
I don't know what made
and then confetti comes out, but yeah, that's crazy.
What do you even do in that situation though? Like, oh, we started a wildfire. Like,
It's like, how do you tell somebody like
yeah,
your wildfire happened because of my gender reveal or something
Yeah.
like that? It's like, how do you tell Prom 4 News this is what happened? Like, no, that's crazy.
No.
but it just shows like you never really know. There's all kinds of different causes
Yeah.
for it. Like it can be a gender reveal or a cigarette. It's like tossed out on the freeway.
Mhm.
You never really know what can start one.
And then even what was it, WFCA, they said that kind of similar to what you said in the beginning, that 90% of all wildfires are caused in the US are from discarded cigarettes and just unattended campfires and human beings. And I found that really like intriguing because I was just like, you would never think that a normal person on the street would cause a wildfire.
Yeah.
You would just never think that like you having a cigarette in your hand. Hopefully not. But like you just flicking it to the side and it just catches on fire, or even you being in your car. So like I know for instance with my brother, he used to have older cars and he would never put water in his cars and stuff. And then he got in a car accident. Luckily it didn't catch on fire, but if it was really fatal, like it could have caught on fire. But his mechanics always kept telling him like put water, put fluid, put this, put that, and the others in the car, and he would never listen to them. So it's like if you really hit that big rig or if you hit something different, you never know what could happen.
Yeah.
So it's like people have to be mindful of that too, and you will never know until a situation like that happens.
Yeah, because once there's a fire, it's so hard to control it.
Mhm.
That's the thing about fire; it's uncontrollable.
Mhm.
Um,
And it's really bad around here too because you have all these hills.
yeah,
So for the first responders, it's really tough to get to these like remote places where,
Mhm.
say, like lightning strikes in these hills back here. There's not roads going up the hills to get to the fire. So even then, in that situation, you might have a huge fire that's like already out of control before anybody even knows about it.
Mhm.
yeah,
And with lightning strikes, it's even worse because there's no way to really prevent that.
From
Yeah.
happening, yeah.
And I was looking at this article in a academic journal called Fire by Saulnier, and in their studies they found that they don't even know the ignition process between when lightning hits the ground, how it even starts a fire. So there's really like a lot of gray area and like lack of research around how lightning starts fires. So I feel like that makes it a really dangerous aspect too. Just
Yeah.
uncontrollability and like the lack of knowledge around it too.
yeah. The unexpectedness because it can happen at any time,
Yeah.
which is scary. Which is why we should be as prepared as possible. And going back to campfires, I actually got this from the same source that you got the 90% is human
The
caused.
WFCA.
Yes. Do you guys know the DSF method?
What's that?
It is the drown, stir, and feel. So what you're supposed to do when you put out a campfire is you're supposed to drown it in water, then you stir it up, and then you feel it. But if it's still warm, you need to put more water on it. So you start the process over again until it's completely cooled. And that's why a lot of fires will happen because of campfires, because like the embers are still hot. So that'll burst into flames. So,
So people will like stomp it out or something. Thinking
yeah,
it's out.
they'll think it's out, but it's
They
not
don't see
really
fire,
out.
But there's still fire causing
Yeah.
embers and
Yeah. Which, I mean, just the fact that you think that you're safe, but then disaster happens.
Would that even go towards homes too? Because I know that like people put like the sprinklers inside their homes or even buildings.
Yeah.
They'll have the fire. What's the word I'm looking for? The little red.
Extinguisher?
Yeah, the fire extinguishers, or even the battery. We would beep, 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 beep.
Yeah, yeah.
The smoke detectors, like
Yes.
all of that stuff.
And the carbon monoxide
hmm
for now, yeah, because most people even have carbon monoxide, and that's also very dangerous.
Oh, it's so dangerous because you can't see it, you can't smell it,
hmm
and it can kill you very fast.
hmm
You know, I didn't even know. I didn't even know it was a thing. Carbon monoxide detectors. I think it's because I have an older house, so it wasn't. It's more of a new feature.
hmm
I do have smoke detectors though, but I should get carbon monoxide detectors installed because I do have one of those water heaters that run on carbon monoxide. So that would probably be a good idea.
Yeah, clear detector. Maybe install one.
Yeah,
Like, Mom,
probably.
you want to do this?
Going to right after this podcast. Making a call. Speaking of making a call, also, you know those wires, those you see them in the streets and they connect with each other.
Power lines.
Yeah, power lines. I don't know why I blinked out on that. But they are also very
Like leading causes.
yeah, because I apparently because of like specifically with electrical failures with power lines and other appliances, specifically with PG&E, they have been a major cause to most of the wildfires in California, fortunately. So, you know, if you see a broken power line, make a call. Don't just ignore it. Um, Respond immediately because can it can end up badly.
So it's better to say something than nothing at all.
Exactly.
Another one I want to talk about actually too was like big events like 4th of July or like New Year's Eve, because like fireworks are also can be dangerous because if one goes out of control, maybe it gets into like some trees or anything with leaves. Who knows? There goes the smoke and there goes the fire, all because of one silly firework, all for fun. So that's also not okay. I mean, obviously they're supposed to be fun, but they could lead to something very not fun.
You know what's ridiculous? Like over in Vacaville where I live, they're illegal, right? Like people can't just buy fireworks and set them off. You're not supposed to. But Sassoon, like 20 minutes away, like
Oh,
just go drive
Go drive over there.
on the road.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't make any sense to me how like see all they have all these signs up in Vacaville like, oh, don't set off fireworks.
It's like $1,000 fine
Yeah.
or something like that.
And then on the 4th of July, or just like on a random like Saturday night or something, people are setting off fireworks.
Yep.
And it's like, do you not understand the risk of what you're doing? Just
Yeah, and they're probably
fireworks.
they're probably drunk too.
Yeah.
That makes it worse.
Just have a good, cool night. But it's like how the people who sell the fireworks in those little huts and stuff, why aren't they fined for it?
Right. Yeah.
Like you would think that they should be fined for it because it's literally a sign that says $1,000 fee if you get caught. Like all that stuff, you should get fined for selling this to me. That's kind of crazy.
Right. Like, what is it about Sassoon that like makes them immune?
But Sassoon shouldn't have that. Sassoon is so dry. Like I'm trying to tell you, it's the driest part of Fairfield ever. And I'm like, it needs more water than anything.
And I'm like, how hard is it to just not set off fireworks? Like, is it really worth the risk? You know, that's another thing.
Yeah. Well, we'll move on to ways to prevent wildfires because there are like, for example, not just flicking a cigarette into grass, properly putting it out. Always just little things like that can go a long way to prevent something that's not only very costly, but very damaging emotionally for people and damaging for the surrounding area. And I mean, like with the campfire thing, it's a very simple process. You just pour water over it until it's cool. Um, but you know what's funny is I wasn't taught a lot about fire safety when I was a kid. I know I had a little class that they would introduce and, the stop, drop, and roll. And that's like the only thing I retained from it. But besides that, they never really went into it.
Mhm.
I never grew up with Smokey the Bear and things like that.
Were you surprised?
I feel,
There when you were coming up.
yeah, I feel like you just told my age or something because I remember Smokey the Bear. Like that's crazy.
I mean, I know Smokey the Bear, but I never seen it in like.
Oh, they used to have commercials and everything.
Yeah.
I remember
We do this,
kids.
kids.
Actually, maybe,
Yeah.
Just skip through generation with Smokey the
No, for real. That's crazy.
Yeah, I know.
Wow. But even there's it's a solution that they put in baby diapers. If you put it around your house, right?
Yes,
Okay.
there is. There is
Yeah.
indeed.
Now that you mention it,
Yeah.
I'm a professional on diapers.
Actually, yes, I am. So, have you ever heard of barricade? Well, when I heard of barricade, I'm like, what do you mean the actual barricade for like, like for roads?
You try to
something?
cage a bear in?
Sure. If you want to say it that way. No, what I actually mean is this is a company or brand called Barricade, made from this guy named a firefighter, actually a Florida firefighter named John Bartlett. He back in 2002 he found out that he tested a wet baby diaper into like a fire trial and he found out that it survived, like it literally helped took down the fire. So now he met a company called Barricade and made this thing called fire gel, which is of course very useful and has been since to this day, from since 2002. So you can go on their website, firegel.com. We're not sponsored, unfortunately, but you can go buy their products, and of course, use it to save anything you need. It's a proven solution, guaranteed, 100%.
Guaranteed.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny how he decided I'm gonna take this diaper
And
and let's see what happens.
Like who just thinks of that?
Just want to fire trial and see if this baby diaper survives. And well, no, and behold, it worked, and boom, all it took was one baby diaper.
Trying to
So then I feel like as a home buyer, that's probably something that you may want to invest in, especially since the insurances are dropping people left and right, like Allstate and State Farm. In 2023, they were dropping people because of how much it was costing for them to build back homes or just finance your home after it was burnt down and all. So I feel like that's something that home buyers should purchase or look into when they're purchasing a home, or even landlords and all them, like people who own apartment complexes and stuff like that. Certain things like that, I feel like you should always have.
Correct.
I think in like 2023, almost 50% of people's claims were denied, which is crazy.
And then just imagine how many people's claims were denied earlier this year
Yeah,
and everything that happened within LA and all.
yeah.
Mhm.
Speaking of LA, so there's this guy. His name is Jim Craig. He had sprinklers on his roof,
Mm.
and he turned them on when the wildfire occurred.
Oh, wow.
And he was one of the few houses that stayed intact because when fire spreads out in neighborhoods, what causes the fire is the embers that spread to the ceilings, and then they catch on fire that way. But because his ceiling was all wet, then it avoided that. So, yeah, I thought that was really smart. I don't know how he thought of that, but
I mean, it seems pretty obvious. Like,
I guess
But it's like, who thinks of putting sprinklers inside?
so. Right.
Yeah.
Because if you look at a modern day home right now, there's no sprinklers at all. It's just like a smoke detector and, of course, windows and doors. But you don't.
think, like in California, if that works, they should like make that a regulation for houses.
Right?
Yeah.
To just put sprinklers.
Because you see the sprinklers in schools and buildings and
Yeah.
offices and stuff
Yeah.
like that, but you don't see it in homes. So they should
And
make
it-
that something.
I don't think it would cost that much either. It's
Right. It's
just,
kind of like in the same vein as building earthquake-proof
yeah.
buildings.
Oh, yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. Mhm.
Mhm.
Like if there's an issue and you can solve it with like a regulation, put it on all these houses, you don't have to worry about it anymore.
Mhm.
You don't have to rely on insurance like you were talking about.
Yeah. Well, I do want to bring up something. I brought a little prop. So another fire hazard is lighters because of the lighter fluid inside, and it's dangerous to keep around. So nowadays, we're trying to promote electric lighters. They're chargeable. They don't have any lighter fluids and stuff like that. You just flick it on. I don't know if you can see, but just turn it. It sounds scary. It looks like a mini taser, but I like it. It looks cool, but
I'm gonna buy one now just because. Just because it looks like
I'm
a
hollering.
I'm convinced.
I don't know how many birthday candles you gonna light with that, but okay.
Yeah.
It works, I swear. I
I
swear.
mean, why would you not bring a product that wouldn't work?
No, you know what? When
No,
you-
it's
yeah, when you light a candle, I like it better because when I light a candle with a lighter, I always burn myself.
I would,
with this, I can just-
for matches.
Oh,
I like
with
that.
Even
like
with
that.
matches, I still maybe because I'm clumsy, but with this, I just put it inside and
Yeah.
it's easier.
Very safe and very.
I thought you were gonna start waving. I was like,
No.
Go ahead.
But yeah, just little things like that can go such a long way. And I know there's a lot of like fireproof things that they're making nowadays, and my mom has a fireproof blanket that when there's like obviously it's not made for like huge fires, but like if there's like a fire somewhere, she can throw the blanket over it and then it'll cut out the oxygen and then it'll stop the fire,
oh, that's cool.
which I thought was interesting and I didn't know that was a thing. But just things like
Isn't that on firefighters' jackets and stuff like that too? Like,
they need to put some of those diapers on them.
Go with a jacket in jail and then walk into the fire.
walk through the fire and be like, oh.
Yeah, literally be invincible.
Oh, could you imagine? Isn't it expensive, those things?
Yeah.
much
Like I
was
said,
it?
we
It
are
was
not
like-
sponsored, but like if you want to buy like a pack of them, $600, please. That's
Oh wow.
what they last for.
Well,
But like I think it's like normally like 100, 200. But
I feel like that's worth it. Just gonna keep my house standing.
yeah,
That is true.
right.
Mhm.
I got pets and everything. I want to keep them safe. If I had children, I'd want to keep them safe. I can't. Oh my god, could you imagine? I can't imagine having pets and kids. Cause what would you do? I did see a video where this guy, he did have like this whole he had like separate boxes for specific things, and one of them was like a little crate for his pets, but specifically like for emergencies.
Mhm.
And then there was a fire nearby, so what he immediately did was he's like, okay, I know what to do. So he got everything he wanted into these boxes, into the car, his pets, and he was just ready to go. I'm like, wow,
it's a good example of being prepared.
yeah,
Because, like living here, I think you said this already, it's not a matter of if, but when,
hmm
So, yeah, it's good to be prepared and not be fumbling around, if there's a fire nearby and you have to evacuate for some reason.
yeah,
I remember like in elementary school, that's so long. Oh my gosh. They used to have us go home and we had to make like emergency kits. So we have to have like 2 pairs of pants, canned foods, shirts, like, just things that just in case if your house or anything does happen, you have an emergency kit that you can keep in your parents' car and y'all can just drive off with. So I feel like we should bring that back too.
yeah.
Because you just never know. Like, if your house does catch on fire, now you're stuck with the same pair of clothes. Or some people have like money stashed away. They have money stashed away, or just little things like that for emergency funds.
Yeah.
So,
We should also be teaching how to use a fire extinguisher.
oh yeah, I don't know how to use that.
I don't either.
Yeah.
If we had one, we would show it, but I'm usually lucky you probably seen one before and once in your life.
Yeah, because the National Fire Protection Association, like almost 50% of people in the United States don't know how to properly use a fire extinguisher.
That's
It is scary, but to be fair, I was part of that percentile because I didn't know either. But I did learn an acronym. It's called PASS, so I'll just pantomime it.
Got it.
P is for pull the safety pin. A is for aim the nozzle, but aim it at the base of the fire. Don't aim it at the fire itself, always where the fire is coming from. S is for squeeze, so squeeze the little nozzle. and then the other S is sweep, so sweep it around. But that's it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
that's so cool. Okay.
yeah. So remember, pass. That's user friendly.
Cool.
Well, I think we touched on why this is so serious and ways to prevent it. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. We're coming to you from Solano Community College. Again, my name is Destiny Ribeiro. This is Alyssa Tinsley, Andrew Gordon, Gondry. I'm sorry, I know his name.
It's close enough.
And Elijah Moore. And just remember, it's not about if, but when a wildfire will happen. It's better to be safe than sorry. Thank you so much for tuning in. Bye bye.